Okay, so let's talk about the area of circles, sectors, and segments, because we can't talk about area unit without talking about the area of circles. So far, everything's been polygons. All right, so let's just jump right into what the area of a sector is. If you recall from chapter 9, the area of a sector, which is this kind of pie piece here, you're going to take the measure of the arc that is associated with it and divide that by 360, because that gets us our fraction of the circle. And then we just multiply by the area of the circle, which hopefully you remember is pi r squared. Okay, so for this particular example where the radius is 3 and the arc is 80 degrees, we plug that in and we simplify and we end up getting 2 pi. I forgot to put my units. Unit squared. Wait. Okay, so next, what is a segment? And we're not talking about a line segment, we're talking about a segment of a circle. And the segment of a circle is really just this portion of the circle. So where you have a sector, so we have this sector right here, and then if we connected the endpoints right there and made a chord, and we took out the triangle, this little piece here that's made with the chord and the arc, that is a segment. So what we're going to have to do is try to figure out what is the area of that segment. So think back to, we had that problem in section 1, kind of find the shaded area, right? So to figure out a shaded area, you're going to take the area of the entire thing and subtract out the area of the non-shaded part, and that gives you the area of the shaded part. So in this case, we're going to take the area of the whole sector and subtract out the area of the triangle, and that will give us the area of our segment. Okay, very elegant, right? So let's see. If we have a circle whose radius is 6 inches, and I know I didn't draw this in, but this should be a right angle right here. Okay, so these are, oops, that was terrible, but whatever. Okay, so to figure out the area of this segment, which is just this little piece, oops, that went out, ooh, that went out, ooh, okay. So if you wanted to figure out the area of that part, okay, we're going to figure out the area of the sector. So the area of the sector is going to be 1/4 the area of the circle, which is 36 pi, so we get 9 pi. Then we need to figure out the area of the triangle, and lucky for us, this is a right triangle, so we have our base is 6 and our height is also 6. So 1/2 base times height, which is 18. And so following this format here, we're going to take the area of the sector and subtract the area of the triangle, and unfortunately they both have pi, so we can't actually combine that into one thing. We just leave it like that. If they ask you to round, then of course you can multiply by pi and get a specific answer. Okay, so that's pretty much what you're going to do. We do have another example here. This one, it says find the radius of the circle who has an area of 18 square units. And the problem with this is that there's no pi, and that's not a typo. Okay, so sometimes they give us the area of a circle and it doesn't have pi in it. So we have to be creative. All right, so what they're going to have us do is we set our area equal to our formula of pi r squared, and we're trying to solve for r. So that means we're going to have to divide by pi. So we get 18 over pi is equal to r squared. But we want r, not r squared, so we're going to take the square root. So we get the square root of 18 over pi. And if they had asked us to round to a specific number, this wouldn't be so bad, because we would just take 18, divide by pi, hit the square root button, and we're done. But they didn't. So we need to get the most accurate answer, and it needs to be left in the correct format. So the correct format would require us to rationalize our denominator. Okay, so here we go. We are going to multiply the top and bottom by the square root of pi. So we get the square root of 18 pi divided by pi, and then we can simplify the square root of 18 to be 3 root 2, and then multiplied by the pi divided by pi. So this would probably be the most accurate answer that you could come up with if you were not allowed to use a calculator. Okay, so there you have it. That's the end of this section. Talk to you later.